everyone, welcome to another mini review roundup of stuff I've been buying in throughout 2021. This time I'm going to be covering what I got during the Ulta 10 points promotion, and I'm also going to cover what I got during the Sephora Labor Day sale, and then there's a couple of other miscellaneous items I purchased from elsewhere, both in person and online, that I'll just throw in because it's like so few things. This was mostly me trying to buy things I either needed to replenish, things I liked but needed a different shade of, or things that I kind of wanted to try out, wasn't sure I would like, coupled with one thing from TJ Maxx I found that I was super excited to find. So I'll just go over all of these really quickly. So first I'm going to start with what I got during the Labor Day sale. And what I got first was the brow blade was half off, so I got the shade Dark Drapes, which is just this right here. So I have 3 brow blades now, which I think is really dumb, but at the same time I do use all of them. I don't have it on today, I use something else today, but I really like Blackout's pencil for filling in eyebrows for like more dramatic eye looks. I also kind of can use it for the tail end of my eyebrow because my eyebrows are very short and I always need them to be longer to keep my face from looking too long. So I use the back end of that, and I use the pen also to fill in the back. It's too heavy for me to fill in the front of my brows. Cool Cookie is really nice for when I'm wearing a lighter eye and I just want my eyebrows to look nice and natural. And then Dark Drapes, to me currently, it's almost too warm of a brown. It's definitely more for brunettes, but the pen is totally perfect for me right now. That being said, this kind of is warring for that spot, but yeah, I got another one and I do use these very regularly for all kinds of different reasons. The pencil does last not as long as the pen side, so I find I will empty the pencil long before I empty the pen, but I keep it around just for the pen. So just got that. It was half off. I've never actually bought a brow blade at full price. I don't know if I would, just because that's really expensive for a brow product, but for $12 I really can't complain. These are great. Which I guess I'll go ahead and mention this. This is my most recent item. I just got this at a Walgreens literally like a week ago, but I've been really loving this. This is the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. This is really good. I've used it in a video. At first I didn't like how it swatched on my hand, but actually on my actual like face skin it looks amazing. It's too light for me to use at the end of my eyebrow, but this is absolutely perfect for the front. The tip is really small and really flexible, and I initially was going to try the ABH brow pen, and that is literally double the price. So far I have been loving this. Next, what I got from the Labor Day sale, and this is going to be it because I just was meeting my $50 threshold for like a coupon or something, but I replenished my House of Lashes in Patrick Ta. I got 3 of each of these and they are like out of stock now on Sephora's website, and they were limited edition, so I'm glad I stocked up because I absolutely love these. This is what they look like. You can see that one of them is a lot more natural and the other one's more tapered. Now, if you saw my Temptalia and Sydney Grace video, you'll see in one of those looks that my eyelashes looked absolutely terrible. So the normal House of Lashes line of lashes I don't jive with. The band just does something weird. It sits really funny on my lash line. These, however, are like perfect and they look amazing, and I love these. These are amazing. Like, I just love how these sit on my lash line. The only downside, of course, was the price, but they were like half off or something, so for that I really could not argue, so I stocked up. Next, I'm gonna move on to like my random stuff, and then I'll end with my Ulta 10X haul. Now, this is what I got from TJ Maxx, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw this. I didn't buy this when it was on the website, and then it sold out sometime in the middle of July or something, and I was filled with regret. But this is the BECCA Pearl Glow Luster Glow Powder. It's the powder that everybody says looks like a boob, which I can't argue with that. This is so beautiful. The way it sits on the skin is so pretty. The only thing I don't like about this is that it is a pink highlighter, and you guys know how I feel about pink highlighters. Like, any highlighter that is like white to pink I have decluttered. This doesn't shift, it's just straight pink. It's really pretty, but I do have to be very specific with what kind of makeup look I'm wearing for this. Generally my makeup tends to trend pretty warm, so most of the time this is not gonna look good on it, but if I'm wearing the right look for this, this is so pretty, and I so badly wish that they had made more shades using this formula. Next, and I don't have these anymore, so I can't hold it up for you, but I did use these in a couple different videos up until I had to return them because neither of them, I just could not make them work for my shade. Neither of them fit me. They both were too dark and also way too yellow, so sadly I had to return these. But the Giorgio Armani Designer Lift Foundation and the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation, I'll like stick images from Sephora or something here. I believe the Designer Lift Foundation is like in the process of being discontinued maybe. The Power Fabric Foundation seems to not be. Power Fabric Foundation comes in a lot more shades than Designer Lift does, so I probably can just go back and get shade 1, so I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale again because it was really expensive if it's not on sale, and I bought them both 40% off, so if it goes on sale again, I will go ahead and buy it because I actually really like the formula. Designer lifts seem to not come in anything lighter than 2, so I'm probably just gonna have to kiss goodbye to that one unless they did a weird thing where like 4 is lighter than 2, which based on the swatches I saw may be the case, but it's absolutely not worth me risking it unless I could see it in store. So maybe if I'm like at a Nordstrom, I'll see if they still even have it available there. But other than that, these got returned. I did get my refund and everything. The real winner for me was definitely Power Fabric. It was high medium, low full coverage, and it was, sorry if you hear noises, Matcha's trying to open a microchip feeder that's not programmed to her microchip and she's very upset. It's a low full coverage, matte, but it doesn't have any dry patches on my skin whatsoever, which I found amazing. I can still even put powders on top and the powder won't dry out my skin. It just was one of the best matte formula foundations I have come across in a hot minute, and I love the formula. I just had to return it because it wasn't my shade, so I'm hoping I can go back and get shade 1 at a later date. I just don't want to have to pay full price for it, and I don't even want to buy it 20% off because I got it 40% off. So this isn't the first time Power Fabric has been 40% off on their website, so if it happens again, I will buy shade 1. And then I still have this just because I got this at TJ Maxx, but the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. It was available at TJ Maxx in the shade 1.3. I did see the shade like 1 or 1.1 or something earlier, and I was gonna buy it, but it went up from $10 to $15 and I like didn't want to buy it for that much. But I have this. This is again too yellow for me. However, because in my 21 Days of Beauty haul I mentioned how this is too neutral for me, so these actually mix really well together. This is the longest wearing foundation I have in my entire collection right now. I actually am amazed. I wore this on the day my AC died. I was a hot sweaty mess at the end of the day and the foundation had not broken up at all. I couldn't believe it. This is so southern summer humidity proof. I am amazed. This is actually really long wear. Like, the name does not lie. It's not as high coverage as I was expecting. It advertised full. I'd say more of a medium, a natural finish, kind of matte but not super. And yeah, I just was really surprised by this foundation. It is actually super great. I'm not a super big fan of the packaging. You can see I'm like a slob and I need to clean it. But yeah, the finish is pretty run-of-the-mill. Like, I wouldn't say the finish blew me away. It was the wear time. The fact that it looked the same from start till end of the day, I just couldn't believe it. And if you go back to one of my vlogs, episode 2 of my vlogs, you can actually just skip to the end and you'll see I actually spent like 5 minutes showing you guys all of my pores and how the foundation was sitting on my face. It was just amazing. So yeah, I've been really enjoying using this. I'm definitely gonna put this to sleep during the winter, which, you know, has the lock thing, so I can just lock it up for the winter. But once summer comes around again next year, I'm gonna be busting this out a lot more often. And now I'm going to move on to my 10x haul. Now, I like to pick up essentials, restock on anything I need, and also if there's any complexion products that I feel like I have a hole in my collection that I want to try out a product, I use 10x as the time to get it. I don't really generally buy eyeshadow palettes when they're 10x because I prefer to get those on sale if I can, but if it was something I was already gonna get anyways, might as well get 10x points, and then later I can use those points to get something when I have like a 20% off coupon or something. That's generally how I play the game, which is I think how most people recommend it. So yeah, got lots of points out of it, which is nice. The first thing I'm gonna go over is a product I initially absolutely hated, and this is the NARS Smudge Proof Eye Primer. Now, if you guys will know, I have been having a lot of issues getting my eyes properly prepped for eye makeup. I seem to have an issue where if my eyes are not in a good condition, eyeshadow won't stick to my eyes. I have issues with metallics adhering to my eyelids. I can make an eyeshadow look terrible even if the formula is good, basically. Like, you know, some people can make any formula look amazing and make you want to buy everything. I can do the exact opposite. I could make you want to anti-haul everything just by putting eyeshadow on like my dry eyelids. So when I used this for the very first time, I thought it was so dry and it dried on my eyelids and it was so bad and I hated it, but I kept using it and then suddenly I love it now and I'm so confused. But basically, if I put on a really hydrating eye primer or eye cream or something, right now, as you guys know, I usually very consistently use my Jaclyn primer, but if I use something like that and I dab it all over my eyelids and then I put this on top, the eyeshadow that I put on top will look really, really good. And yeah, there's something about this that I so far have begun to really like. It's not tacky in the slightest. It kind of almost sets itself. I do it before I do my eyebrows, so by the time I finish my eyebrows, it's ready and the eyeshadow just blends really well, sticks to it really well. I feel like this makes my eyeshadow look really, really good. Now, wear time for eye primer is not a concern for me because my eyelids are so dry. There's no oils coming through to break eyeshadow. Like, there's just nothing. So no worry about wear time. I'm just always hoping that a primer can make eyeshadow stick to my eyelid better, and this seems to do a really good job. I have heard from people with oily curly eyelids, this does make eyeshadow last longer, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I really like this. Next, I got the Maybelline Full and Soft Waterproof Mascara. I have mentioned this before that this sucks and it doesn't do anything. I really was just using it to blend my natural lashes into my false lashes and like, you know, stick them together and everything because it's so bad, and I just was like, well, I'll use it. That responsibility of that bad mascara's responsibility has now been replaced with the NARS Climax mascara, which at least volumizes my lashes a little bit. This literally does nothing. So this can go out the window. I'm literally not even keeping it. I'm just throwing it in the trash, and this has been usurped by the NARS Climax. Not that that says anything good about NARS Climax, by the way. I still think this sucks too, but at least it volumizes. This like doesn't even do anything. It doesn't even hold a curl, and it's actually just as easy to remove as a non-waterproof, so I even question how waterproof this would be. So nope. Next is the MAC Love Me Liquid Lip Color. I got the shade It's All Me. I've been wanting to try this for a while. MAC has like such captivating lip colors and formulas. I like want to buy like everything from MAC in terms of lips. I feel like their lip range is among one of the most breathtaking in terms of Western makeup brands, which is really cool. So I've always wanted to try the Love Me Liquid Lip Color formula. I want to try the Love Me lipsticks too, but I just haven't been wearing lipsticks lately. So anyways, I love this color. It's on my lips right now, and you can see it is a very warm, very red based shade with a little bit of orange and brown in it, so it ends up looking surprisingly MLBB and also bold at the same time. So really pretty color. I think MAC always comes out with just amazing colors. When you first put this on your lips, it feels really thick and sticky, but you give it a few minutes to settle in and it sets down to a really natural satin finish. So you can see on my lips right now, it is not sticky and it's more or less set down. Transfer is minimal. It will come off in front of a meal. It will come off a little bit onto the side of your cup, but in exchange, you are getting a nearly matte finish that doesn't dry out your lips at all. It also blends out really well, so if you're like me and you prefer to have a blurred lip line instead of a defined lip line, you will find that this blends out and blurs really beautifully. If I had the money, I definitely would be the kind of person to want like all the other colors in this formula. I would call it this kind of formula for me. I don't have the money right now. Next, I got the Lancome Teint Idole Concealer. I love the foundation. I have it in the shade 95, which it's a little bit too light for me, but if I go any further, it gets too yellow. So I usually use 95 and then I just use like a whole lot of bronzer. But I wanted to get the concealer because I just feel like, I don't know, Lancome I feel like makes really good complexion products, so I wanted to get this. I initially got it in the shade 90 because the website was saying if you have the shade 95 foundation, get the shade 90 concealer. No. So pink. So I went back and exchanged it for 95, which they graciously did for me. This is really nice. If I apply this, just 2 little dots under my eyes, let it sit for like 30 seconds and then blend with a brush, I get really nice under eyes, and this doesn't crease on me at all. Now I know I don't have very many lines, but I do have like one very distinct line under each of my under eyes that I usually will use pot concealer, and I just straight up avoid putting any product near there so nothing can crease. I can put this all over my under eyes and not get a single shred of creasing. It is so nice. It's not full coverage, but at the same time, if I blend it with a brush, the coverage is high enough for me. I'm not complaining. If I'm wearing very light makeup, I just use this and blend it out with a sponge all over. It makes my under eyes look beautiful. This is definitely a current favorite of mine. The only other concealer I currently have in my collection, because I got rid of all my other liquid concealers, is going to be the Pat McGrath one. This I really like too. Much more fuller coverage, a lot more matte. This is like pretty natural. This is a lot more matte. But yeah, these two are my favorites, so I definitely can recommend this one for dry under eyes. I do have to use a primer, under eye primer of some kind before this, but again, I have dry under eyes, no surprises there. The only other liquid concealer I held onto was the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy, and I use this as an eye primer. This is a terrible concealer under me. Random comparison thrown in. I definitely really like this. And this is the last one I got, not super big. This is the Urban Decay Perversion Waterproof Liner. This is a brush tip liner, and it is pitch black. Pitch matte black, does not move, and the brush tip liner is really easy to control. This is my new holy grail liquid black liner. After Flow Flushy kind of just disappeared and became Yuzu, and I found the new liners from Yuzu to not be any good. This is so good. I'm so glad I finally bit the bullet and bought a higher end eyeliner on the western side of things. This is really, really good. Oh my gosh, like it is so black. I will draw it on the back of my hand for you because you guys need to see this. This is really cool. It is also a really nice brush tip, so it is it is so black and it's so easy to control. I can even use this to draw fake lower lashes underneath my lower lash line if I'm wearing a particularly bold look. I usually use my Flow Flush Emote Liner in black brown to do this because it is just the perfect black brown fake lash color, and this is also the color I have as my eyeliner today, and I used it to draw some fake lashes. However, this Flow Flushy is gone, so this is gonna be like, after this dries up, this is gonna be a goner. Now I will say I have had this for like almost 2 years now, and it is still as good as the day I got it, which I think is amazing. So yeah, this is what I use right now. But this definitely is my new holy grail black liquid liner. I am in love. Totally can recommend this. I tried the Benefit roller liner and I love the formula on that, but it was felt tip. Hate felt tip, so I gave it away. And I do want to try the Better Than Sex liner next, just because I feel like this just was so good. I now want to try other liners, but I'm really enjoying this. I'm just going to use this up and then I'll move on. Love this so far. I'm so glad that I finally have a liquid liner that I can love and trust. I also, random Stylevana stuff. I haven't used these yet, but if they're anything like all the other colors, these are going to be awesome. But Roman came out with 2 new Juicy Lasting tints for their summer collection. I pretty much keep up with everything. I have the majority of the shades of Roman's lip colors, so I just really love these. So I have the shade Very Berry Pink. Now these are really pink. I'm definitely gonna be so out of my comfort zone using these, but I'm so excited. I'm gonna just put these on the back of my hand so you guys can see them. But she came out with the shades Very Berry Pink, which is 26, and then 27 is Pink Popsicle, and these definitely, you can tell what the inspiration was. It's like summer popsicle, summer drinks, very tropical, and these are extremely pink. Now you can see the more accurate color now that the camera is adjusted, but here is number 26 is on top, number 27 is on bottom. You can see just how beautiful they are. So pink, so they just remind me of popsicles. I can't wait to put these on. I'm definitely going to do a look using these soon. I think these will be perfect for me to use in the winter. I definitely love using cooler tones in the winter. I haven't actually used them yet, but the Roman formula between each color is extremely consistent. I know some brands, when they release lip products, you'll find that like one shade is really good and then one shade is really patchy. Roman literally has complete and total unified consistency of quality between each and every color in a formula. So I know these are going to be so good because I love the Juicy Lasting Tint formula. Yeah. I do want to make a video where I swatch all of my Roman lip products someday. That's a lot of swatches. And then lastly, just a random thing I wanted to mention, I did buy the Jessica X Doe collection. I didn't realize the bundle actually only had 2 of her unique lashes, and then the other 3 are just her favorites that already exist. Like, she only came out with 2 lashes, so kind of a waste of money for me to buy this as opposed to just buying the 2 lashes that she came out with, but that's fine. I will use them, so I mean, you know, I'll get use out of them. But she came out with 2 lashes and I love them both so much. I have already used 1 pair, so the first pair is one 1111, and I've already used it, so you can see here that it's just kind of hanging out on the band, but this is really nice. And then I also got the I got the other one, which is called Angel Baby Girl, and it looks like this, much more natural than the other one. The really cool thing about these is that they're made of black and brown fibers, so they're black and brown mixed together to create a soft brown lash that also won't disappear. And I will insert really quickly like a photo of me wearing them. They are so nice. Despite the bands being clear, it completely stays fine on my mono lids. It doesn't droop like the Japanese lashes I've tried have, which are unwearable for me because of that. The lash band on these absolutely holds up against mono lids, so I can say these are happily monolid approved. I think the packaging is beautiful. These are gorgeous lashes. I will be wearing Angel Baby Girl soon because I do want to do another like super daily soft friendly, very quick and easy fall makeup looks sometimes, so I'll wear those for that. But yeah, they are so nice. I am in love. I totally approve of them, and if you guys want to go get them, you certainly can. I have not seen any confirmation they're permanent, so definitely if you want to get them, you'll probably want to get them pretty soon because once they sell out, I don't know if they'll come back. That was it. That was my little mini roundup of everything I got. Really not that many fails in here. I try my best to get things I know I'll like ahead of time or just like stuff like that, and if I don't like it, generally it's already been returned or sold or whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys found this to be helpful. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!